everybody, I'm Vicky Ayton, Premier of the Positive Pamperers. So I want to talk to you today about samples. So I generally make samples myself. The most important thing is getting posh on people. First thing when you make samples is wash your hands. I'm outside right now. This is not where I would make samples. Make them in a clean, sanitary area. Make them somewhere where your kids aren't going to come up and put their fingers in anything. Nowhere where the cat is going to come by. Nowhere where the dogs are going to come by. Clean and sanitary. So that's the first thing. Make sure you're using containers that are clean. Make sure your area is washed down, because you never know. Obviously you're going to be giving them to somebody. They're going to expect them to be sanitary. You never know if there's going to be allergies involved, and you want no cross-contamination. Thing number one. Expect to receive samples the way you would want to receive samples from somebody. Thing number one, you always want to consider. Posh samples are wonderful. We can get them in the portal, but I personally use them sometimes. Most of the time I make my samples. They're wonderful. We get PV for them. They can look pretty. These are the way I give out my samples, and I will give full credit to Erin Madsen. That's where I got the template from. If you ever have watched her video, that's where we get this beautiful template, put our own information on them, and use the Lacons. That's what I do, and that's what I've been doing today. So I am going to be getting out a wonderful new Posh paper. There is so much information. When I first started out, I used to go nuts making samples of everything out there. What I do now is I select some of my favorite new items and get those samples out. Everybody gets the 5 samples. They get, this time I'm changing it up a little bit. They're getting a face wash, and right now I'm doing the Bright Young Fang. Most of my customers have already tried BFF, which is my personal favorite, but I want to try the new one. If I use Whole Lava Love, I'm going to want to use something gentle. They're going to get an on mask, an off mask rather, an on mask, a big fat yummy. This one happens to have a little snarky because I'd already made this one and I didn't have the new ones, and espresso yourself as a scrub. So that's what they're going to do. I'm not going to make hundreds of other samples right now. I'm going to keep it cost effective, going to keep it consistent, going to keep it duplicatable. So just to get my first big batch of samples out, then they can request things that they see, things that they want to try, rather than try and guess what everyone's going to want. So just to give you an idea of the cost involved in that, rather than spending lots of money on portal samples, they're beautiful, they're wonderful. What I want might not be there, and they don't fit on my pretty little oversized business cards. If you choose a scrub, when you choose a scrub, I choose a thing, I get PV. I scraped this one dry a little while ago. When you do that, I got 85 samples out of that. So take your $22, I should double check, divide that by 85, that lets you know how many samples you can get out of that. Bright Young thing, and yes, I scraped every last drop out of that. I got 92 samples out of that. So just think, and that's more. When you look at one of the samples, that's more than one time use out of that. That's probably 2 days use out of that. You get 92 days worth of use out of that. That's a morning and night. So that's what, 3 months worth of use out of that. So think what a great value that product is. Not just for making samples, but for somebody's use out of that. So that's 3 months worth. 3 months for $19, $19, $20. Really should learn my prices for the new catalog. But that lets you know how much, and I'm also getting PV on these samples I'm making. Just for interest's sake, I haven't even labeled these yet. This is my Big Fat Yummy. I haven't put the labels on that yet. On a Big Fat Yummy, I got, what did I say, 45 squirts, and this is way more than you would put on each time you use that. So that lets you know for $9, you get, that's probably 90, because that's probably 2 squirts, two times use out of that. You probably get 90 squirts out of that. That lets you know how good a value our product is. Whole different topic, but that's how I make my samples. It's way more cost effective, but you go through and do that. That's how I make my samples. Pop this, pop this. I'll also put recruiting information. I'll put my why information. I'll put how to host information. I'll also put an extra flyer right now and remind people that if you're thinking about holiday money, this is a great time to join my team and make some extra money for the holidays. And also I'll probably put a fundraising brochure in there and a reminder about fizzies. But that's how I'll send out my pink packs. But that's how I'm making samples right now. Get the PV. It does take some time to do it, but it's a great thing to do. Sit at your dining table with a TV going, binge watch something, have something going on your laptop, nice sanitary area, something going, and it's actually really cathartic. Making your samples, watching a good show, relaxing, great smells, pampering yourself at the same time. Do a face mask while you're doing it. It's a great way and a great way to get your business going. Hope this helped. Talk to you soon. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.